stage. How are you, Kenny? Are you good, bud?
Hello, hello.
How are you today, sir?
Welcome, welcome. I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I feel like it's been 1,000 years since we sat down together.
Yeah, yeah.
So much to talk about. I can't even think straight.
I'm telling you.
So, what's news in the world of Calderon?
A little bit of everything. Summer break. Um, doing some summer programs in the area of South Florida for the summer, which is fun. You know, and got a couple shows lined up for the summer. Not too many because my son is here for the summer.
Yes,
which
excellent.
is amazing, right?
Yes, yep.
My son Dominic. Shout out to him, another aspiring illustrator.
Yes, car designer in the making.
Yes, he's man, he's been doing some really impressive stuff. I feel like over the course of the past couple months, the interest in illustration has like really blossomed in the boy. So he's been drawing a lot more. He's a lot more technically sound than I had anticipated. Right? I guess all those hours of watching YouTube videos is good for something, right?
Well, back to the drawing board just gives it to you every week. Well,
That's right. That's right.
How can you go wrong? But he would just have to
Exactly.
wander into your studio or see you online to see you doing it all anyway.
This
I mean,
is true.
he's got an insider, which helps.
But he's very proactive, right?
Yeah.
So he'll draw a lot of the characters that he's a fan of, like with certain like shows and such.
Yeah.
And video games. He's really big on Pokemon, so like he's been doing that a lot, and has been Hotel and such. So I'm very very like happy to see what he's been doing, right? And he's excited to like share it with me, which is like even better.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
And you, how are things on your end?
Good. We just hit term break, so that's been great. It's been a crazy busy week.
Right.
Just going to wrap everything up and get kids' works out to them and make sure the room's stocked and ready to go for next term. So it's been one of those weeks, and trying to catch up on art as well in between.
Yeah.
In the ad breaks of life,
Yeah.
trying to get everything done.
That's true.
But anyway, so it's great. It's great to sort of lift that coat off your shoulders for a couple of weeks and really focus in on getting some things wrapped up and some artwork done and hopefully get a little bit of rest in there too. But I'm not anticipating that's going to happen.
Right? Rest. What's that? What is that?
I can't do it. It's
Who
the
does
maddening
that?
quest.
Mm-hmm. It beckons.
It beckons. It calls me.
It calls me.
It has a voice.
Yvette's in the room. Welcome, Yvette.
Yes.
Good morning if you're down under. Good evening if you're here on the States, in the States rather. And welcome to another episode of Back to the Drawing Board. I am Kenny Calderon, and with me as always is Iron Will Playden. Right?
I'll take it. Maybe aluminium foil today. I don't know about iron will, but yes, I will take that. Oh man! So much has happened. So much is going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you are joining
Very
us for the first time here on Back to the Drawing Board, for this challenge, we are working through the Masters of the Universe challenge, drawing challenge, and we are taking one character at a time, and we are trying to reimagine them into a real-world environment. Here is our little list. Well, I say little list, but let's be honest with you, it could be a lifetime journey for you and I, Kenny. We've just finished Stratos on that top row there, and then we're now onto Teela. So Teela is the one. Just as a quick mention, if you are interested in any of our past streams, they are all on YouTube. Please make sure you like and subscribe both Kenny and I's site. Share it around, and it helps us to keep our algorithms bumped up. But
Absolutely.
also, lots of subscribers is always helpful for us as well.
True.
So we reimagine these characters. We put them in different settings. We try to work on the anatomy and the real worldiness. I'm going to say that's a real word now. We're going to make up a word. But also, I suppose too, is trying to make sense of the loony, crazy, eccentric design styles of these characters that made them popular.
Right.
And Yvette is currently building us a vocabulary list for our book when we bring it out.
Excellent.
This also could be Yvette's life work. I'm just saying. By the time we finish this, there could be a numerous amount, a volume of new words that we've invented.
She's the unofficial stenographer.
I would say so. Yes, the grand archivist.
Indeed. Indeed.
So we're on Teela. So I'm going to bring it up on screen, Kenny. So there we are. There's our references for Teela. And you can see we got many varied versions of her, but there are a stream of gold similarities that run through all of them. And you can see that with some of the costumes. There are certain parts of it that, like, for example, the area around her trunks, like the armor there, is very similar in each one.
Right.
We have the endangered skun animal bearskin boots, or whatever we call it, Eternian boots.
Yep.
Seen over and over, but we can see the headpieces are similar in some, varied in others. Now, we're veering away from the Cobra outfit, aren't we? Isn't that our plan?
Yeah, because I think that would be too similar to what we would ultimately do with either Evil Lynn or the Sorceress of Grayskull.
Right. And Green Goddess, which is at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think I'm going to sort of lean more towards the mini comic and the animated version, I think.
Yeah, same. I think that I'm gonna lean more so towards the animated version of Teela.
Yeah.
But I will borrow like some elements that I like from like the statue.
Yes.
The statue is very, very beautiful statue and it's very well detailed. So I think I'm gonna be doing something, just borrowing some small elements with that. But fundamentally, it'll be the iteration from the TV show.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Very Red Sonja-esque, that statue, isn't it?
Yeah. And I love it. I mean, and for the first time, we're working with a color palette that is relatively soft on the eyes, right? Because the gold trim isn't super loud. She's got auburn hair.
Yeah.
The white balances out real nice. And I mean, it's not like a crazy color combination,
Right.
that's like super loud, like Merman.
Right. Like Off-Man's Merman.
Right.
And we haven't got the Trap Jaw yet. That's going to be a crazy combo because that's got the lime green, purples, and like the scarlety reds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the embodiment of every character from the 70s and 80s.
All in one.
Exactly, all in one.
Here's another one that's like that. I think Many Faces is like that as well. He's kind of lots of colors.
Yeah, because he's got the greens. He's got the greens, the yellows.
Right. Yeah. Too Bad was another one. He had the purple and the blues, didn't he? And the orange chest guard.
It was always like those really funky kind of color combinations that were very, very common back then.
Yeah, it's like we bought the cheapest paint and we bought it in bulk. So this is what's going to happen, folks. Everything's going to be orange.
Absolutely.
Orange. Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds great. So what have you done so far in your picture? And what have you thought about since last week? Have you considered it yet?
So I haven't done anything because I don't want to cheat our audience out of the experience, right? So I'm gonna kind of render out what I want to do for the composition live on the stream.
Yeah.
Right. I do like a bit of a warrior pose.
Yep.
Right. Something that feels very Red Sonja esque.
Yes.
Something that's very much in the vein of sword and sorcery.
Yep.
And I don't like. I originally wanted to sort of have her in like this like Spartan-esque sort of battle ready pose where she's like holding up the shield and she's resting the blade atop the shield, right? But she's like kind of lean. But I feel like it would hide too much of her physique.
Right.
Right. And because this is like the first female character that we're doing in this challenge, I want to, kind of show off, the lines of beauty.
Yep. I'm with you.
So I'm thinking that I may do something similar to the statue. Right. Where she's at rest. And we can kind of get like a full body image of her.
I think we're in alignment there because I was going to do her on Battle Ram, but I've decided not to do that.
Yeah.
I think a statuesque sort of pose, I think is
right.
The way to go.
I feel like, for the first female character that we're doing in the lineup, we should definitely take advantage of, the feminine form. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. But also I think too, like, because she's such an iconic character.
This is true. Yes.
She deserves that kind of I suppose iconic stance that we gave He-Man, and I think it's the same sort of rendering, I guess, is how you would put it. But I agree. So what weaponry are you going to give this lady? What are you thinking?
You know what? That's a good question. Let me ask my Uncle Google real quick.
I'm just saying, don't trust Uncle Google. Oh, scary Uncle Google.
No means no, Google. No means no.
Show me on the chart, Google. No.
Let's see here. So she is depicted with a sword, with a shield, and she also has the mage staff.
Yes, I'm not going to do the mage staff because I think that belongs to Green Goddess for me. I'm
going to stay away from that because I figured I did a staff with Skeletor. I'm going to end up doing another staff for Evil Lynn and then Green Goddess down the line. So, Andrew's in the building. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome to the stream.
Andrew. How are we doing?
So then there is the bow staff.
Right.
Yep. The bow staff, which is iconic from the cartoon show.
Yes.
So I may do the bow staff.
Right.
I may do the bow staff to kind of break up the monotony of sword and shield.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Although I kind of I can't help but think Chitara when I think the bow staff every time.
I know.
So for those who don't know, Green Goddess is, because we keep referencing that character, Green Goddess was the first time we saw Teela in the mini comics. She was actually green. So, and she had that Cobra outfit, and she had the Cobra staff as well. So I think I'm gonna try and move towards more of. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the sword and the shield, I think, just like He-Man.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do. All right.
So I do like sort of let me raise this up. There we go. So I do like, a pose like this, right? With the one leg up.
Yep.
Resting on, maybe a pile of rocks or what have you. I haven't decided what she's going to be standing on, but so that we can get that full, line of beauty, leg extension in the feminine form.
Yeah.
Right? And
resting on Beastman's head.
Yeah. He might like it. I think he's into that.
Yeah, beaten
Yeah.
down and shackled. Yeah,
Exactly. Right. Maybe have hand on her hip or fist on her hip.
yeah,
Right. And you know what? I kind of like the idea of the bow sort of like resting on her shoulder.
right. Yep, that's cool.
Right. Kind of a swashbuckling kind of pose.
Yep.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just hypnotized watching you draw this.
It happens to me. When I pause and I just kind of ramble without using my pencil. It's because I'm
Yeah.
watching you paint.
I'm gonna go get a cup of tea and have a sit down for a bit. I'll just watch you get this together.
You know, and I figured it would be probably a really good idea. Well, because I did some like more leveled perspectives. I think she should look down on
Right.
this one. Right. So we can point the eyes down here. And I do like the hair kind of like kept up with the little tiara.
Yeah.
Right. So she's got that little bun.
I think it's
Right.
smart to point out too, Kenny, just to everyone watching, how you have done the weight bearing leg and the hip there. So when you are doing life drawing and you're starting to put these things together, that leg that locks in, that one that's connecting to the
Yes.
ground, it's important you can see how Kenny has locked that knee in underneath that muscle. And hey, Chris Borman's here.
Chris, welcome.
Yo, what up? So you can see that leg's locked into that kneecap, and then he's brought the fore bone of that that lower leg around,
Yep.
which should always connect with in alignment with the base of the throat, roughly, and that gives it that gravity point. But you can see further up there where Kenny has done the hip that her hand is resting on, that iliac crest at the top of the pelvic bone.
Yep.
That is always tilted high. You can see he's deliberately done that with that line work that runs across.
Yep.
As a guide for himself. And he knows that by doing that, he knows that his shoulders go in the opposite direction as with the rib cage.
Yep.
So that creates that fold of skin just above that iliac crest, which is always something you lean back and you'll see the masters do all the time. They always have that fold of flesh above the iliac crest. You see Michelangelo do it, you see Titian do it, you do Rembrandt, like all of these guys did it. So it's important to note that tilt of the hip is what will give your character that relatable feeling of tension in that area. But the base of gravity, really forcing that weight down onto that knee.
That and it's really pleasing to the eye to sort of like hide a lot of triangles in your form.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm trying to work in as many little triangles as I can so that
Yeah,
it feels that much more pleasing. So I think I'm gonna do like the fist, so like the knuckles will rest on her hip,
nice.
right?
Yep,
So that'll be wrist, bring the elbow up like so, and then that'll bring the shoulder up high. So
nice. I think the fist will make it look not so relaxed too. I think too, like
yeah.
you don't want to look like she's like, "Hey, garden party." Like you want it to look like she's still ready to launch into battle if she needs to be. Like there's
Yeah.
tension there still. Yeah.
Yeah. I still want to
Are you
give her
going to
like
have her
that
looking down?
warrior vibe,
Yes. Yeah. And like looking down at the viewer, is that the plan? Like
Yes.
chin
So
tucked in? Yeah.
yeah. So the chin will be tucked in. I don't want to block too much of her face, so I'm gonna like sort of like turn her high collar a bit, right?
Yeah.
So the torso will be more 3/4,
Nice. Yep.
right? We get the boob, shoulders. No, you got to do it that way. You got to do it that way, right? Because look, all right. So like, it's always really awkward for me because all right. So I always start my kids with anatomy,
Yeah.
right? Because especially at the ages of like 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 13, really. They're heavy, heavy, heavy into like character art,
Yeah.
right? So I like to start all my kids off with some of the more difficult things,
Yeah.
kind of like remove the veil of the difficulty, right? So they can just kind of dive right in and then like, oh, this isn't so tough, right?
Yeah.
But it's always awkward when when we get into like the feminine form, because it's like you
Yeah.
always put the boob underneath the shoulder line,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then they kind of like give me that little side eye, like, did Mr. Kenny just say boob, right?
Did
You
he
know what I
say?
mean? Like they give me that.
Yeah. Did he say boobies? Yeah. He said it.
You know
I
what I
know.
mean?
Like it is. Like, and sometimes you just gotta say it,
Yeah, you just got to roll
right?
with it.
And just be matter of fact about it. Like I'm the same in my class if we're doing figurative drawing, and you just say like, "It's just part of the breast." This is it. And they go,
Yes.
"What did you just say?" Like I know it's late in the afternoon, but just Mr. Plain just say, "Yes, I did." I said it,
And,
kids. It's
and there's
happened.
there's always that one or two guys, in the
Yeah.
in the back of the room that kind of chuckle like Beavis and Butthead. You know,
Yeah.
he said boob, right? You
Boobs.
know what I mean? Like
Boobs. Yeah. In the
it's in
background.
every class,
Yeah.
every class.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a visiting teacher. I'm just saying.
Very true,
It
very
happens.
true.
It happens.
We like a sub, or
Yes. The gardener outside the window.
you know what I mean? Absolutely. So I'm just gonna, even though this is just my sketch, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
I'm kind of OCD. I like to, you know, make my corrections so that I have a very clear game plan,
Yeah.
going into the final work. So
Love-
my leg was a little too extended outward, so I'm gonna kind of straighten this out so it aligns with the raised shoulder,
Yeah.
right? So that we get a very clear and sure footing, right, on how weight is being distributed in the form.
And always very tricky too, because this character's got heels.
Yes. So
So
that means we have to,
you can tell
yeah,
everything.
go into the 90s
Yeah.
pointed toe in
Point, as you say,
convict.
the point the toe. But also, I think too, it puts that tension on that calf muscle where before it might have been relaxed.
Oh yeah, so like right here, we're gonna get a little bulge,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna bring the heel up, definitely.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna go with like an actual heel, like a stiletto kind of heel, or
I
are you
think
gonna
so.
do like the thick, like a wedge?
Um, I think I might do it like the animated version. I think she had like a heel, didn't she?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she did. I'm looking at the animated version right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
you won't see a lot of mine because mine's just going to be front on my character. So I've
mhm.
decided, just watching you, I think I'll shift it up and do because I'll admit my default is to put a leg up, and it's not because you have or because it's an easier option, but I think I
Sure,
just do that all the time. So I'm going to try and do one
but it's
that's
just
both legs
yeah,
down.
and we wanna show off the curves, right?
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of masculine forms,
Yeah.
so why not have fun and indulge, right?
Indeed.
So I think I'm gonna do the wedge, like a la Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman boot.
Yes. Okay.
I think I'm gonna do the wedge and then still give her the Eternian pelt
Right.
at the top of the boot, right? And I do like the leaf pattern that she has
That's the
around the
stuff
waist.
they kept over and over. That armor, they've kept that for each of those characters, haven't they? Like
Y-
for each iteration of that character.
Yeah,
That's the one thing that's gone through all of them.
that like leaf pattern,
Right.
right? And then she's got the sort of golden vest here
Yes.
that has a bit of a plunging neckline, but a collar comes up, right? And it connects down to the leaves. Now, I want to see if there is something around her waist because I think
Do you want to
right.
pick the reference up, Kenny?
Please, yeah. Let's take a look at that one more time because I want to make sure that the details.
So
Okay.
she doesn't really, does she?
No, she really doesn't. But I do see that she's got sort of a lip where the leg starts.
Yes.
There
There's
is a
a
little bit of a lip,
see
and
that on
that's
the statue too. You see they've lined it with gold.
yeah. I think I will line her waist and that trim with gold.
Yeah.
Right. I do like I guess the circular plates around her waist. Right.
Yeah.
Sort of break up the white.
Yeah.
And then Lucid
Hey, Lucy,
Picnic.
Lucy.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
And
love
this
that.
is
I love that name. This makes me wonder what the delirious picnic would be, because that would be
I'm
another
telling you,
altogether.
just utter chaos.
I do love the Volkswagen Combi van on the picture that I used to drive one. I
That
appreciate
is
that.
awesome. Yes, that is awesome. I do like the arm braces and so some of her iterations have her gauntlets being gold and others appear to be white. So I'm gonna go with gold on
I'm
that.
going with the gold too. Yeah. Are you going to go with the brushed gold, or are you going to go with the one that's like super shiny?
No. I'm gonna go with like the brush gold.
Yeah.
The brush gold because I think that it's more like it would fall more in line with her being a warrior, right?
Right.
And if I do any like shiny gold, it would probably be in her crown or the tiara.
Right.
And then we got her hairline about there. Center of the face would be there. Chin will be tucked in. Bow staff. Yeah. So I'm thinking, man, I would hate to do just some plain old rocks, but I think we could do um something a bit more regional, something that'll like kind of something funky with
Yeah.
the color of the rocks,
Right.
right? So it feels like it's a different part of Eternia,
Eternia. Yeah.
and it kind of gives us a nice like triangular composition of the character.
Right.
All right. I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go. Man, should I put her sword and shield on her back? Would that be too much?
No, I don't think so. I'm doing the sword in arm and the shield on the arm.
Okay.
So it mirrors He-Man a little bit in that way.
Right. Or I could do the sword here and the shield on her back. That would make it different. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add the sword and the shield. I'm going to have the sword off her hip, the shield on her back. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
All right. Composition is crucial, ladies and gentlemen. Composition is crucial.
Well, that's the heavy lifting, really, isn't it? I mean, once you figure that out, it kind of flows after that.
Absolutely. So Lucid Picnic says, imagine just chilling and drawing on a live stream. This is golden. We do this every week. Or almost every week. Right? Almost
Indeed.
every week, right?
Yeah.
It really depends on some of the outside obligations that Will and I have, right? Because, fortunately we are working artists, right? So outside of live streaming, we teach, we do conventions, we have contracted work, we've been published in books and such. So and that's not to mention a lot of the commissions that we'll get in between all of that. So
Yeah.
this is a bit of fun, right?
This is our downtime.
Yeah. So this is one way that we kind of keep those muscles sharp,
Yeah.
right? By deliberately plunging oneself into an art challenge. So I'm gonna start off with my blue pencil, right, just to kind of get myself oriented on my Bristol. Start drafting in. Where's my sharpener? Oh no, the sharpener disappeared. No, here it is. Thank you, Lucid. Thank you. And also we also do giveaways. So stick around. Stick around. We do giveaways every so often.
We do the art and then it's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
So we didn't get a chance, Kenny, to talk about the Acolyte. We were going to talk about that a couple of weeks ago.
Which one?
The Acolyte. Have you started watching
The
that?
Acolyte. You know what? I still haven't watched it.
Haven't you?
But man, am I hearing?
It's dividing the world.
Man, am I hearing the foolishness on that show right now?
Yeah.
That is all over my feed right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like episode 3 was like the equivalent to the Red Wedding.
4. I think it's 4. That was the new one.
Was it?
Yeah. It was great. It was great.
Star Wars fans too. Lucid, you're at home, okay?
Yeah.
You're at home. We are your people. All right.
Yeah.
Comic fans, Star Wars.
Search no longer.
Will and I are big DC guys.
Yep.
We're into classic cinema, cryptids.
Yes.
Like you are amongst your people here.
You found your tribe. Search no longer. The manding quest is over. You're done.
Exactly.
Just pull up a chair. Yes.
Exactly. This was serendipitous.
Yes.
Serendipitous. So we do some live art. So it's like part art stream, part pod. We just kind of have fun and just kind of shoot the shit, as they say.
Yes.
Right? So
Yvette and Chris, I'm just going to say we've been really well behaved this time around. We haven't gone off the road at all.
Give us time. Give us time.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because we're doing the drawing part. We're focused on trying to get that. I think if we were painting,
it would have. It's in. Straight
off the road. Yeah,
we're about to hit the 40-minute mark right now. So like,
we're doing really good. I'm pretty proud of us. Like we're making. We are evolving. We're evolving as humans. Yeah.
Now next week that might be a little different.
A hot mess. Next week's gonna be
because we'd be past like these conceptual stages in the art by then.
Yes, it'd be Mad Max by next week. The Thunderdome. Any civilization is gone to the point.
Chris Borman says, to have the bankroll of Lucasfilm and Disney, it should be better. The bottom line is you need a good script to have a good show or movie. Yes, I 100% agree. But you also need people that actually care about the IP. It doesn't, it's not enough. It's not enough that, like, yes, you got the money. Yes, you got good writers. but you got to care about the IP, because any one of those can go left. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That if you don't have the budget, if you don't have the budget, you'll make it work,
Yes.
because you care that much about the IP. They've done phenomenal things with a very low budget.
Right.
That I can name a ton of movies that have been budgeted under $1 million.
Well, they're spending
And
$50 million per episode, I think.
oh yeah,
That's a lot of money.
yeah,
That's a lot of money.
you know. So even if the budget's not right, you'll still make it work because the writing is good and it'll keep people coming back. Then with the writers, if you see something that goes left in the script, you care enough about the IP, you'll check it. Look, I need this changed.
Exactly.
This doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? It's not concurrent with this universe and its rules. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like it's a lot of people.
You know it.
It's a lot of people over there
Yeah.
that don't care about the IP. So they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Yep. I wonder how many voices are in that room though, too. Like telling them
clearly not enough.
I mean, telling them
Clearly
this is what
not
I want
enough.
in it. Put this in it. This must be in it. And you got to kind of find a way to squeeze in everyone's
Yeah,
agenda.
it's like
you know?
it's like the checklist.
Yeah.
We gotta tick all these boxes.
Yeah.
Nah, that like because it becomes more so about the checklist and not about just the entertainment.
Right. Yeah. Which was that? I think there was a leaked video this week of an executive from Disney talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
dude. Like
caused them a bit of problems.
They got to course correct. They got to course correct.
They've got to do an under new management sign. That's what they've got to do. We're starting again.
Easily.
It's a do-over.
Easily, dude. Because holy crap.
Yeah.
Like when look, full disclosure, I haven't watched the show yet. And a little piece of me is kind of dreading watching the show. Because when I saw the again, not to offend anyone,
I'm
right?
offended.
This is a safe space for everybody.
I'm offended.
Okay. When I saw the lesbians, using the force to like impregnate one of like what?
Yeah.
The force? What?
Yeah.
Immaculate conception with the force? What?
Uh-huh.
No.
Although I got to say, I think you're like the villain. The villain, I think, is right up your avenue.
Yeah. but
I think you will.
What?
Yeah.
So Lucid Picnic asks, how long have you been teaching art, Will?
Me, coming up to 25 years. I've been teaching art now. So a little while. But I've taught adults, but I mainly teach high school, secondary school art. How about you, Kenny?
So with me, I've been teaching all of 7 years. I think I'm going on 7 years, and I teach privately at a studio, right? Because I am self-taught, so a lot of the things that I've experimented with and learned on my own accord, I'm able to kind of pass that knowledge on to my kids. And shout out to Laura Toby. She was the lady that took a chance on me, right? She was looking for teachers for the studio, and she was very impressed with my body of work. But I told her I've never taught in a classroom setting before, and she's like, "Don't worry about that. Just come in with your knowledge. The teaching aspect, I'll show you." Right, because she was an educator first before she was an artist.
Right.
So shout out to her for taking a chance on me. And I've been doing it ever since. I mean, it's probably one of the most rewarding experiences in my life.
Besides back to the drawing board.
I mean, obviously,
Right.
I mean, because
this is your life dream,
right?
like if you had to measure everything up that ever existed or will, it's this first.
Yes,
It's this thing first.
definitely.
Just so we're
But
clear.
I'm able to kind of, bring this to that, so
Yes. Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Like when I lay there at night and I dream the dream, I think, yes, sir, it's this. This is the first thing that
Yes.
comes to my mind. Of
Every time.
where I would,
Every time. There's no
like,
competition.
I don't even try. It's just there. It just immediately appears as like, how lucky are you? Like, there's everything wrapped up in everything.
That's it. That's it.
And everything else is second. So, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. It is. It's a poetry of chaos, but we accept it. We love it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to admit, it is one of the highlights of my week. Like I do love sitting down with you and just drawing and being stupid and sharing 1.1% of my sanity rather than 1. Because let's be honest, if we let it all out, it'd be like staring at the sun. I don't think anyone needs any more in their life. It would make us locked up.
That's it. Bear with me, folks. I know that the pencils are light. It's because of the non-photo blue. It's just a part of my workflow. I'm very free, as you guys can tell by my sketch here, that my pencils are very, very loose. So it just gives me a neater product in the end, after I work out my composition. So just bear with me. I appreciate you guys' patience. But yeah, Will, what are your thoughts on the Acolyte thus far?
Look, I don't know. Like, I mean, I look at some of the sets. I feel like it's done in studio. I mean, I think with that kind of money, I don't know why they can't go on location.
Right.
It feels very claustrophobic, I think, at times. Like I think they're working in an area that's interesting. Like they've got a new whole arena. I don't know why they didn't go further back than just 100 years. I don't know why they wouldn't just leap giant chunks of time. But I do like this last episode. I do like the kind of direction I think they're going to. It's sort of heading towards what I think it was supposed to be about, which was exploring the dark side.
Right.
So I'm all about that. And look, I kind of like the witch's idea, but the delivery I think wasn't great. I think I like the idea that there are many of these Force users in the universe, and the Jedi have like this. They own the franchise on it basically, so they can come and grab your kids. You're not allowed to teach your kids how to use it.
Right.
There's a real arrogance to the Jedi, I think, which is kind of reflected in the early prequels.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. I like that part. I love the villain. It's got a real sort of anime kung fu feel about it. The villain,
Yeah.
and there's lots of that sort of like when you see the costume in action, you'll see what I'm saying too. Like there's some cool parts of the costume where his gauntlets, they short circuit lightsabers when the lightsabers hit them.
That's right. Is it made out of? Because there's a metal I read in the books. I'm forgetting the name of the actual metal itself. Because I did see that there were some mercenaries hired by the Empire.
Yeah.
That were wielding axes that were made from
this stuff,
a vibrating like a high frequency metal alloy that disrupts lightsabers.
Right. Coppertonium, I think it was the
Yes.
Kenny Coppertonium is, I think it's the metal we're talking about.
More of that.
Yes. So I like that part of it. Like I haven't I mean, there's lots I can see what they're doing. I can see the messages and what they're pushing and stuff. I tend to ignore that and tend to at the heart of it, I kind of try to overlook it and let that go because I'm getting Star Wars in my lounge room. So I don't really feel like I'm not missing out a great deal. I mean, have I enjoyed the content they've been putting out? I mean, sure. if it went away tomorrow, would I be upset? Probably not. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's give or take kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas it was a different feeling with the original trilogy. Like I would have been sad if that had stopped at some point, but when I was a kid. But so this stuff, like like the Mandalorian was good. I enjoyed the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been hit and miss, I think. But I think that's really got to do with my feeling is it's just there's that many people saying, yeah, you can do it, but I want you to include all of this.
Right.
And we're going to pick really auteur directors that are doing things that might be art house and a little bit interesting, but it comes across as inexperienced in that universe, which is a
Right.
problem, you know.
Yeah.
Look, I think eventually money will speak. I think the fans will speak by saying, "Well, I'm not buying a subscription anymore," or whatever. I mean, they're already billions of dollars in debt. I'm sure at some point they're going to evaluate, what are we doing? Like, someone's going to have to say to them, dude,
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
you're good, you can run it, but we're just going to hold the reins for a bit. We're just going to go get a drink and have a nine eyes, and then we'll come back and we'll reevaluate where we're at.
Right.
Now, I'm falling into a problem I have every time with the female form is I tend to make the legs too long.
And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Thanks, ZZ Top.
Because if you think about it, for the alternative, if you make the female's legs too short,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I feel like longer legs, in the anatomy, even if you do it on accident, right? Even if it's not like a style choice, if you do it like on accident, it still reads very, very feminine, very like dainty, almost graceful.
Right, but I just don't want her torso to seem too stubby.
Right.
So that's a trap. So I've got to just make sure that it's balanced a little bit. I do tend to do that with the males too. The legs tend to be a bit longer and a bit thicker. And I think that's just because of the scale I'm working, and because I'm working, like my camera is just there, so I'm kind of working on a weird angle. So often I'll take it out and go, oh, I'll have to adjust that before next time. That doesn't work. Yeah. The Acolyte, it's okay. Look, I think it's cool. Let's see what happens with it. But I'm just going to give it time to. Like I did love the battle scene from the last episode. That was great.
Right.
But and if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. But it was good to see the Sith go into town.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have piqued my interest.
Yeah, going to town on these Jedi.
Because I do like seeing some Sith mayhem.
Yes, we do like us a bit of Sith.
A bit.
Doesn't go astray. Yeah.
Quite a bit.
But yes, it's okay. Like, I mean, like I said, if it went away tomorrow, I wouldn't be like heartbroken, but that's all right.
Right.
See where it goes.
So let's talk a little bit about what's been happening in popular culture.
Yes, there has been lots in the last couple of weeks.
There's been quite a bit. So I'm going to touch a few points tonight with you guys. At the top of my list, it's the passing of the great Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very surprised to hear about his passing. And man, Donald Sutherland is a tremendous actor. Tremendous. My absolute favorite Donald Sutherland movie is Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh yeah. How good is that?
Okay, Invasion of the Body Snatchers for me easily top tier psychological horror. He acted his ass off in that.
Yeah.
And man, we're losing so many of the greats. But then it's like it puts me to think because, like, I mean, God forbid, Al Pacino's still alive and kicking. He's I feel like he's older than all of these guys.
Yeah, he's like beef jerky now. Like he just doesn't. He's just so withered and.
He's like beef jerky, but with a cigarette in his mouth, like barely hanging off the corner. You know,
Exactly.
you know.
And De Niro's getting on there a bit too, isn't he?
De Niro's getting up there. He's
Yeah.
really starting to look his age. There was a point where like De Niro, even in his 60s and like going into his late 60s, early 70s, he was still, you know what I mean? Like he still looked good. Like he can still play like a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, but now I feel
But
like it's
now,
starting to
no.
catch up with him. Yeah,
It's
no.
done. It's done.
Now it's starting to catch up with him.
It's the only way we're gonna is reverse aging. We're not gonna.
Yeah. And even then, that's not great. We're
No.
not there yet,
We
technologically.
saw The Irishman. Everyone saw The Irishman.
Yeah, The Irishman. Ugh.
Just weird.
So
Like
weird.
waxy and weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So floating around the internet right now is some test footage
Oh.
of an animated Batman Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Right? That was originally animated by the good folks that gave us Into the Spider-Verse.
Right. That would be interesting.
Before they did the Spider-Verse.
Right. They were playing with Batman.
Yeah, so they pitched this idea to DC, and one of the execs over at DC, shame on him, rejected it.
Oh,
right? So
that's
they
a
took
career
their their creative talents over to Marvel, and boom, we got the epic and iconic Spider-Verse movies now.
That won awards. That guy's
been winning awards, right?
You can say hello to him now when you go through the drive-thru at McDonald's. He got deleted.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, and I saw the test footage. The test footage looks incredible. It's got that grainy, the same sort of like grainy, almost low frame animation as Into the Spider-Verse, but it's like low frame but smooth at the same time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it was gorgeous, dude. It's a shot of Terry McGinnis like diving off of a building in a futuristic Gotham, and then like at the peak, I guess at the lowest point of that drop, he sprouts the bat wings and he starts like soaring through, what looks like a Blade Runner-esque sort of Gotham. It's great.
Was that like the Bruce Timm one though? Like, isn't that how that began?
It's
like the
yes,
opening was that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was kind of like that. That. Chris Borman says, I think they knocked it out of the park with Andor and Rogue One, but the Acolyte they have nosedived. It's not it's not that I want it to fail. And I agree. Rogue One was excellent. And Andor was also great. But dude, it's like we don't know, and I think where they initially dropped the ball. Is when Disney deemed the Dark Horse books non-canon.
Yes, but they're kind of cherry picking out of it a bit, like the EU, aren't they? Like
exactly, because
we're not doing EU, but we're going to include, the Thrawn trilogy, kind of like.
Right.
What are you doing? I think the biggest slip up was when they cut Lucas out of it. I think if they'd included him to consult, which was part of his agreement, I think it would have been. They could have won. They could have had a bit of that guiding factor, but they ran ahead with it. So super excited, and I think that effort to really ignore the original trilogy, I think that's a real problem, because you go to Disneyland, you can't see that original trilogy stuff. Like, it's all the new stuff. Like, I think they're missing part of their. I mean, the most popular products they're making are based around that stuff anyway.
Right.
But they're ignoring it. I don't understand. What do I know? But I don't understand that.
Because if you look at the Clone Wars was an excellent series.
Yeah.
And the Clone Wars, if you really pay attention, followed a lot of those storylines, from the comics.
Right. Yeah.
They brought in a lot of those characters that were popular in the books that we wouldn't, be familiar with otherwise.
But you also had Dave Filoni, who learned at the knee of Lucas, too. I
True.
mean, that's
Yeah,
always helpful.
which goes back to my original point. We need people that care about the IP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Andrew says, as long as I can still find copies on YouTube of the Christmas special, I will be happy. Shame on you. Shame on you.
It's an
Right?
abomination.
Erroneous.
Erroneous.
Right? Andrew also says they own it, so it isn't just the TV shows and movies, but also the toys, bed sheets, and other licensed stuff. Over there, they just did a tie-in with Oreo, a sweet biscuit from Nabisco. Yeah, marketing is marketing, right?
Yeah.
And sure, you still want a decent marketing team, so you can kind of milk, the cow for as much revenue as possible. That's completely understandable. But it all starts with the media. It
Mm.
all starts with the show and the movies. If the show's crap, you can't even hope to sell a cookie, with the Mandalorian helmet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Because tell me if I'm wrong, Will. You're
Right.
around kids a lot, right?
Yeah.
As am I. And you see and you can overhear a lot of what they talk about.
Yeah.
So if a kid, let's just say, for example, a kid is a big fan of a show, they're gonna be more inclined to go out there and spend their allowance money on something that they are a diehard fan of,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna harass their parents until they fold to get them, a video game relative to this IP.
Yes.
But it's like if the IP is trash, you're
Then
gonna lose
why
money all around.
you don't want to be in the universe?
Exactly. You don't want any ties to that.
No.
You know what I mean? So
No.
like so Andrew continues to say Nabisco, of course, is owned by uh Mondelez International because sometime like 10 corporations own everything. This is true. This is
That's
true.
true. Yep.
It's like 10
Definitely back
conglomerate
to the drawing board.
corporations.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one owns back to the drawing board.
It's like the Hydra. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right. Yeah. It all goes back to a few. Yep.
but nobody owns us.
No, sir. No.
Nobody owns us.
I'm
You
not
know
going
what
to
I
say
mean?
that no one rang either, but
Give it time. Give it time.
I'm not filtering phone calls. I'm just saying.
Give it time. We'll come call it. Right? We're not for sale. Right? So
I haven't had any phone calls about copyright on Off-Med's Merman. The Off-Med Merman action
they're out
figure,
there.
or the corn cob sword of Merman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, park brake handle on the swords. I haven't had any copyright issues with that, but
Or the Flemulets.
The flamulets.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
we're in no danger. We're not on their radar right now.
No. Yet. Yeah.
Not yet. So in some more exciting news.
I'm
Right?
just picturing the court case. So would the defendant please write and flamulets? Can you explain to the jury what flamulets means?
Yeah, it's gauntlets, but they're flesh colored. So you
They
can't tell,
failed
but you can see that they're there.
They failed to paint
Kind of like armor, but not.
a flesh armor. Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Rodius. Oh man.
So See, there it is, Yvette. There it is.
Now, what are we at? What's the time?
We're at 1 hour and 4.
That's a record. That
That
is
is
a
a
record.
record.
I
We're
think
at
the
an hour
shortest
and
time was
4.
like 5 minutes. I think one episode we're 5 minutes in off the road.
You know what I mean? So, Skunko Minecraft. To answer your question, I'm sorry, we kind of went off on a tangent there. What we're doing is we're illustrating the character Teela of Masters of the Universe. So it's a female warrior from that show, right? So we're just kind of rendering in some composition here, right, before we get into some harder details. I mean, Will is much further along than I am, but and that's looking great. Will, I like the tension in the thighs there. That's dope.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's taking.
That's dope.
I'm not noodling, but I'm just trying to make sure the line works right. So when I add on the costume,
No,
it
it
just
looks great. It looks great because like it's like you could tell that she's toned and muscular, but it's still feminine. You know what I mean? Like she's not bulky.
and just making sure I get those hips, the ribs, and the
Oh yeah,
shoulders
that's
right.
great.
Just
That's
getting
great.
that correct, and giving her that the iliac crest without sort of too much. I don't want to look like she's swinging the hip, like bang, 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 bang. I want it to
Right.
come to look like a warrior pose.
Yeah.
You know.
So, in more exciting news,
Yes.
a direct sequel to The Mummy
Mm.
is in the works, and they're bringing back Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz to reprise their original roles.
Now, how does this all fit into the dark universe? That's what I want to know, because Universal, they sort of stopped after Tom Cruise's debacle,
Yeah, they
and then
tried it.
they
They
tried it, but
tried.
then they were like, because they had a good line. They had a lineup of Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man. They had a whole bunch
Yeah.
waiting to happen, and then they just paused it after good old Tom Cruise, which like Tom with the dyed hair and looks like he's gone into anaphylaxis a little bit with the face, like he's running around. Running around with a 25-year-old girl. Like, I just think, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening here? Can we recast? Well, what are we doing?
Yeah. And when it comes to the Universal monsters, I saw what they were doing, but I feel like they showed too much of their hand
Yeah.
In that initial film.
And I want it to work because me, I'm a massive Universal Monsters guy.
Yes, sir.
Like I love it. I love it.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that property to death. I want it to work, but I just think like the theme park they're building looks. Have you seen the theme park in Florida at Universal Studios they're building?
Oh, I've been there many times.
They if you looked at, I think it opens in a couple of months, but it looks incredible. Well, they got a Frankenstein's village. They got a werewolf ride. They got all this new stuff they're about to open in the dark. They call it the Dark Universe section of this new park. It's incredible. Like I just don't. You got to get it right. Like I'm not sure. It's kind of like when they brought the last Aquaman movie out, knowing they're going to reboot everything at DC.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, it's get confused what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I too wanted to like it, right? Because judge me if you want. I do like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Like I dug the collection of the ragtag group of legends in one group, like the Monster Avengers, if you will.
Yes.
Right? So I think that in that initial film, if they would have just focused on the mummy and the curse and not reveal, the whole, underground X-Filey cryptid hunter, action that they did with, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right.
I think it would have had more staying power.
Yeah.
Because it started off really freaky. It started off like a horror movie.
with Hyde, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't he hunting Hyde at the beginning, or was that?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so. Like it started
I'm not,
off as a horror movie, and then like it just went left. It turned into uh
Monster Squad.
like it just went left.
Yeah,
Right. So to see that Brendan Fraser is coming back with Rachel Weisz, to reprise their original roles from the original OG like
yes,
Mummy franchise, that is very exciting. I love Brendan Fraser as an actor.
yeah,
I loved him in Doom Patrol. I loved him in The Whale. It was a phenomenal movie,
yeah.
right? That man, he's deserving of all of the accolades.
And
He's
it's
just
interesting,
great.
like in the Universal's world. I mean, he did also do that biopic film on James Whale, where he played James Whale's lover,
That's right.
and that was on Gods and Monsters. It was called,
That's right.
and that was quite an
That's right.
interesting film. But that was the last time I saw him before he brought the whale out.
Right. So yeah, dude, he's a phenomenal actor. I'm very, very like happy to have heard that
Yeah,
he's coming back in his like one of his more iconic roles.
I think
Right?
she's great too. I love Rachel in those movies,
Oh
but
yeah, she's fantastic.
I don't, as long as I don't bring the Scorpion King into it.
Yeah, no,
I
no.
can't handle the Rock. I'm rock overdosed
Yeah.
at the
I'm
moment.
I'm rocked out. I'm rocked
Yeah.
out. He's yeah.
I need to breathe the Rock. He's like me within everything, everything,
Yeah, he's in everything, dude. Like I
even
went to
WrestleMania,
Target.
even
Oh,
WrestleMania.
you know what I mean? Like I went to Target like the day before yesterday to go get my
Yeah,
son some stuff, right? And leaving Target, passing by like
the Rock's.
the lotion section, there's a
Yeah,
big cutout of the Rock
yeah.
selling lotion and skincare. And
Like
I'm like, no,
what?
no, no, no more Rock,
It's
no more
making
Rock,
all the monies, all the
all of
monies.
it. And he's got the nerve to ask for it, to help Hawaii. Shame on him. To help Hawaii.
Yeah,
Shame on him.
standing there with the richest woman on the planet, asking for money.
You know what I mean? Shame on him.
Yeah.
What
And then
is
he's in
that?
WrestleMania. What's
And
going on
yeah.
there? I don't know. What can you do?
So speaking of actors,
Yes.
right? Berserker,
Ah,
the comic book title co-created and written by, well, I think created by, but co-written by Keanu Reeves, is getting a live action film and animated series on Netflix.
right. Okay.
That is very exciting stuff. Love
That is.
Keanu. I'm interested to see what he does with that. I know that Berserker as of late has become a very, very popular indie title.
I think he's
Um,
back to writing it again, isn't he?
yeah, he's back.
He's back
He's
writing
back
the book.
to writing again. Yeah. Chris Borman says
Uh,
The Rock is doing a Santa Claus movie, Red One. I heard about that. I'm
yeah, I
good.
saw the trailer. Yeah.
I'm good. If it's nothing, if it's not like the Goldberg Santa Claus movie, if it's not like that, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
see that movie, Will?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't talk about it.
Goldberg was spearing people into chimneys. It was great. As Santa Claus. It was fantastic.
Look, anytime you get a wrestler in these films, it's always going to be funny.
Oh, it's
Always.
gonna be hilarious.
Yeah. Always. The Undertaker Halloween special. Like, I mean, I think
You know
anytime.
what I mean? You can't miss.
No,
You can't miss.
you don't want to.
So, looping back to Star Wars, right? Gina Carano
Oh,
won her $115 million lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm.
I did not realize that she won.
Yes, sir. Shout
Wow.
out to
Okay.
her. She did fantastic. And
Yeah.
I love it. I love to see the underdog like come out on
Yeah.
top.
Wow. That was a big one. That's a
That was a
sting.
huge one. $115 million.
You think they're gonna have some quiet conversations with Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger now? Like,
I quite possibly, because I
yeah.
would imagine that that's everything that she would have stood to gain had she remained in the Mandalorian show.
So I'm assuming though that she didn't get the other part of her claim where she wanted to be reemployed in the show.
Dude, I highly, dude, after paying someone out like that, after paying someone out like that,
It's always awkward at the
man,
lunch table, isn't it? Like,
man, it's like, here, take your money. You can't sit with us anymore, though.
yeah, yes.
Over there.
Well, it's always going to be awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
At the bubbler, at the drink fountain. Hey,
getting coffee, right?
what you been up to?
A little coffee pit.
Yeah.
So,
No.
how about that Boba Fett, right?
Yeah. No, go home.
No, get out of here. Take your money and go.
Get out of here. Gone.
You're gone.
Oh man.
So, another rumor that I came across,
Yeah.
right, is there of a 5th Lethal Weapon film?
Oh, you're serious.
A 5th Lethal Weapon film
walk?
with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
What's
Okay?
Have you seen Danny Glover?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think he's finally too old for this shit.
Yeah. Well, he was in that film.
Got to the point.
He was in that movie, The Dead Don't Die. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
And like he was barely home. Like literally like struggling to get the words out.
So the thing is though.
Yeah, Vince is again as grandparents.
Again as grandparents?
Great grandparents. I'd say.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But
I want to know is he coming back with the mullet? Is the mullet still going to be there?
I think he's coming back with the mullet, dude. He's coming.
And is
back
he going to run flat out down the freeway like he does in every episode? Why is he running again? He's like he's got ADHD. He just has to run down the freeway. What are you doing? I actually just recently watched those movies again because they're good to put on in the background while you're drawing.
Oh, they really are, though. They really.
But it's running all the time, just running
like a full sprint, dude. Just in traffic, full sprint.
And flat out, like I mean, it's not even like at a jog or anything. Like he's going hard.
Yeah.
But how long do you think you're going to be able to sustain that, Mel? Smoking three packs a day, Mel. Like, what are you going to do?
Easily.
Yeah.
So,
did he think he's going to catch the car? Like, did he really think he was going to catch the car?
I don't think he would know what to do with it if he did.
With an Uzi sort of on a strap around his singlet. Like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. It's great. They're great movies, though. I can't.
But along with the rumor, he is slated to direct. The fifth movie.
Are they going to get Joe Pesci? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
So what? Like they haven't really talked about like any possible cameos, but like in the rumor, it is described that they are basing the screenplay off of one of Richard Donner's original screen shoots for a sequel.
That's right. It was the Donner universe, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Right. That was Donner.
Yeah,
that was Donner. So if they go in, with an authentic Donner screenplay, I'm all in. I'm with it.
Are they going to get Pesci back? That's all I want to know. Pesci. Okay. Pesci. What's Chris Bowman saying? I just saw a picture at the
Chris Bowman says I just saw a picture of the beach, a picture at the beach of 80-year-old with his 56-year-old wife. He looked like he escaped from home.
Yes. Well, what is he going to do?
Who knows? Danny Glover, man. God bless him. God bless him. You know, God bless Danny Glover.
Oh, so funny.
So, most recently though, and this is very exciting. This is very, very exciting news. I saw this recently, and I'm hyped for it. Right. So there is an animated Batman. I want to say film or series. I haven't confirmed this. I think it's going to be a series that's airing on Prime Video August 1st called Batman Caped Crusader.
Oh, that's
Okay.
the one where it's going back to, is it the 60s Batman?
That is, yes, the like with the short gloves and
And the
the
blue.
big ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So that's, yeah, it's going back
Because
to
I'm
like
sure I
the
saw a
noir
lot of.
1920s sort of
Yes.
Gotham, and it looks like it's right in the vein of Batman the animated series, like in the look and
Right.
animation style.
The Timverse. Going back to the Bruce
Yes,
Timm style.
the
Yeah,
Bruce
right.
Timm.
I
Yes.
wonder if Paul Dini's involved too. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that would be like epic if Paul Dini was involved.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I think they were definitely, no pun intended, the dynamic duo
Yeah.
of that run. And I saw some of the previews,
Yep.
and I think it's in the previews that what leads me to believe that it's going to be a series, or at least like a short series,
Right.
because they do show the Penguin, they do show Two-Face, they do show um, some of the GCPD characters, right? And the character designs are excellent. You know, it's very much in the vein of, you know, the era that they're trying to emulate.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
so like Two-Face looks like a burn victim in that Bruce Timm look. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep.
Like his face isn't like green, or it's not discolored, but like it's bubbly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah. It's
it's
crispy.
crazy, dude. Like,
Crispy bacon.
yeah, man. You know, it looked really,
It's
really
crackly.
impressive.
Pork crackly.
It looked really, really impressive.
That's
So I'm
cool.
really excited for that. And yeah, that's all I got in pop culture so far.
Actually, just going back to the Universal news, like it's not really Universal, but it kind of is. We had the Nosferatu trailer drop this week. That looked pretty good.
That's right.
That looked pretty amazing.
Who's leading that? Is that Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe's in it. We got Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu, Mr.
Okay,
Pennywise,
I can see that.
and Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter,
Yes.
is in it as well. It looks pretty good. I'm in. I'm gonna go see it, I think.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good. Yeah. And Bill Skarsgård looks like he can really pull off Nosferatu, because he's got that facial structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because like when he played Pennyworth, like you can see him with the like the Bugs Bunny fangs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you can totally see him be Nosferatu.
Well, he said, I saw an interview with him. He said he wasn't sure how he looked. He goes, but then when he saw the release of the film, you know, like when they had their little private showing, he goes, I was terrified. He goes,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was me. He goes, it was creepy. So I'm really keen to. Yeah, there's that great shot of it of Nosferatu standing in the doorway with his wolf, and it's just a silhouette. It looks fantastic. I'm like, that's it.
Nice.
I'm going to go see it. I have to see this. Has to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've been, you know, sort of like going down the vampire rabbit hole lately.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
That, like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Strain.
The Strain.
The Strain was
Yes, I have seen The Strain. Yep.
Such a good show. That show had me in a chokehold for a really, really long time. Because yeah, dude, because it was kind of like giving me my Blade 2 fix, right?
Yeah, right.
But it
Yep.
was like giving me vampires, but like in a more, I guess in kind of a more grounded way,
Right. Yep.
you know,
Yes.
to where like it kind of eliminated some of the mysticism
Right.
behind, oh, you get bitten and now suddenly you're a vampire,
Right.
right? But like, the whole chemical and physical changes from the little worms.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I can see that.
Like I dug that. And then,
Yeah.
it gave me the more of a scientific explanation as to why the turn happens, and you
The
know what I mean?
vampirism. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it still went back to some mysticism, like I later on found out.
Yeah. I
But it was
think
good.
Anne Rice always skirted along that a bit too, didn't she? Like she had the idea of there was something happens to the form
Mm-hmm.
of the body when that virus goes into your system. Um, but and she talks about what happens and what you see. Like it's a different view. But then you still had the idea of this romantic notion of this creature walking a planet that's immortal,
Right.
and how you manage that, like how you deal with that, how you never see daylight again.
Yeah. And I didn't know that like Queen of the Damned
Oh yes,
was in the same like Anne Rice
universe.
universe
Yeah, it's a terrible,
as Interview with a
terrible
Vampire.
movie. Terrible movie though.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
went on a big in the '90s. I went on a big dive where I just read all the books, and
Ah, okay.
there's some great ones. They go back to like guys that were around in the Renaissance and the Roman era. Like it's just some
Mm,
fantastic stories there. But yeah, the films like besides Interview with a Vampire, they never quite caught it.
no,
The same sort of feeling for it. Yeah,
I thought it was a good Interview. I liked. I thought it was a good movie.
I did too. I still like that film. It's still a great movie. But they haven't quite captured that same feeling that film had.
Yeah,
Maybe it's casting. I don't.
in some of the behind the scenes, they did disclose that Anne Rice wasn't keen um on Tom Cruise's casting
Oh, really?
in
That's
an Interview. But then
never missed that.
after, like after they gave him the blonde hair, they gave him the contacts,
Yeah, yeah.
he like ended up loving the way he played Lestat.
Because in the book, I think he's an Italian boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's Italian or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
So at first she hated the casting, but like
Or
after.
French. Maybe he's French. I think he's French. But
Oh,
he's
it is. Yeah, he is French. He is French.
because his creator. I think his creator was like Nosferatu, like is that kind
Right.
of bald, demonic-looking vampire that kills himself in the sun, kind of thing.
Ah,
So he doesn't impart any knowledge, which is what he whines about in Interview with a Vampire. I give you the choice I never had, kind of stuff.
right.
Um, as Brad Pitt's looking despondently off camera all the time.
Uh-huh.
Pouting, always pouting.
Uh-huh.
The forever pout.
Uh,
Can you imagine how many live streams we could do if we were immortal? Imagine that. That'd be incredible.
I'd be, yeah, of course.
All the live streams.
All of them. Just all of them. We would outlive the audience.
we'd have to convert all of them too. Like you can't do
Yeah.
it on your own. Yeah.
That's it.
Sorry.
Now you're one of us.
We got the coven. We call it the coven.
And then from that rabbit hole with the strain and Interview with a Vampire, that rabbit hole led me to Fright Night.
Oh yeah, yeah. The new one or the original?
Both. They made comparisons.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So the comparisons. Do you remember? The highway scene in the newer Fright Night with Colin Farrell?
I do. Yes. Yep.
where like Colin Farrell's chasing the family down the highway, and
Yes.
they end up coming across another driver.
Right. Yep.
So that driver was Colin Farrell's character in the OG Fright Night. He was the vampire.
Nice.
He was the
Yeah. Yeah.
neighbor.
Yeah. Yes.
Just obviously much older. Now, in comparison to the older one, right? I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
Right? I did enjoy both of them. What I particularly enjoyed more about the newer one is the basement, on how like he would sort of like bury
Yeah.
the vampires, and then they would just kind of like emerge from the
Yes.
ground to feed.
Yep. Yep.
I like that because it's like, now he's got like this whole brood in his basement.
Undead army down there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I dug that a lot. And I think Colin Farrell, man, that man can act his ass off, can he?
He's good. He's not bad.
Man,
keep him.
like
We'll keep him.
he gets lost in every role that he does. I just watched The Gentleman, the movie
Look at him
with
as Penguin.
Matthew
The Penguin.
McConaughey.
Look at him as the Penguin.
Yeah, he's dude. You can if no one would have told me that's Colin Farrell, I wouldn't have known.
No. But he's not invited to Lethal Weapon. Just saying.
No. I think he's too young. He's too young to be a Lethal Weapon.
he hasn't hit 60 yet.
He's too young to be in Lethal Weapon.
I just recently watched Salem's Lot. When was the last time you saw that?
Oof, long time ago.
Now, dude, I forgot how creepy some of those scenes are in Salem's Lot.
Still hold up?
Oh my god! Like, I'm just thinking of that actress. What's Juliette Lewis? Her dad is in that. He was in a lot of films in the 80s. But he plays.
What is that? Dreyfus?
Sorry?
Dreyfus?
No.
Salem's.
Trying to think of his name. But he plays the gardener or the groundskeeper or the cemetery gravedigger, whatever he was. But he got bit in it, and he turns to a vampire. But my God, there's a great scene in that where this older fella opens the door and he's just sitting in the dark. But they've illuminated his eyes, so his eyes are yellow.
Yes.
So it's just these two dots that are bright yellow.
Yes.
And he doesn't have anything romantic about him. There's no swept back hair. There's no expensive clothing.
Right.
there's no cape. He's just in dirty t-shirt and jeans. But it's just creepy. Just in
with
that
like
these
like animal eyes.
Yeah, man, like cat eyes. It's just creepy.
Yes.
But they had that other great scene where the little boy comes to the kid's window. And he's floating and he's tapping on the door trying to get into his mate's house.
Yes.
I'm like, this is the stuff. Like, this is, like there's a lot about that film that's aged because it's so old. But I mean, there's those scenes I think they just jump out. They just work so well.
Oh, definitely. Chris Borman says it sounds like Colin Farrell is the king of the remake.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't call him king of the remake.
Total Recall. Don't know about that one.
Total Recall. That
was a dog.
Yeah, like I get they were trying to like make it closer to the books and all that, but
fail.
Yeah,
you can't. It's a hard one. Like, how do you remake an Arnie film? Like, no one's touched Predator really as a remake.
Yeah,
to that level. How can you? You can't do it.
That's a hard. That's like anything Schwarzenegger is a hard one to follow up. It's a hard one to reboot.
It's a hard sell.
You know what I mean? Anything done by Schwarzenegger already, that's like stamped in stone. Like
stamped immortal.
Exactly. It's immortal, dude. Like, leave it alone. Just enjoy for what it is. Give us HD re-releases, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't try. Don't try and do it. You'll wreck it.
I mean, That
They tr-
that first Predator
oh, perfect.
still holds up.
It's still perfect. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I like the Danny Glover one too. Predator 2 was really good. I did enjoy
Danny Glover appears again.
it.
What are you doing, Danny?
You know what I mean? Like that movie it was still good. Still good.
Yeah.
You know, but I wouldn't remake any of those films. Like
No.
Running Man.
Oh,
Iconic.
it's you can't do it.
You can't.
Like they tried
Running
Conan,
Man.
that didn't work, did it? Like,
No, no. And they tried the same thing. They tried to, kind of spin it where it's like, oh, we're doing it kind of closer to the books.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
Well, okay.
Good for
Okay.
you.
We'll
Yeah.
see. Right.
I know there was
And
talk of
don't get me
trying to do
wrong,
a
he
Conan.
looked good as Conan.
Right.
He
He was fine, but it's just too hard to get out of your head, Arnie.
Yeah.
Drunk and punching a horse in the face. Like you just can't,
Yeah.
Grace
Yeah.
Jones.
What is that? Yeah.
What is that?
What is that?
What is even that? What are you doing? What is even that?
Like and for to be fair, that
Yes.
newer Conan, it had its charm.
I did like the feeling of expansiveness with it. Like they had him on the boat. He went to different places.
Right.
There was that adventuring feeling that Conan was. Like Conan was on the shore, on the water a lot.
Yeah.
There's the pirate feeling about Conan.
Like for me, it was the scene where he's in that ruin fighting that shadow demon.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a cool scene. That was a
Yeah.
cool scene. So it did
Yes.
have some redeeming qualities, but it's like, it's not enough.
No. And when
Not
he's
enough.
yeah. Like, yeah. There was a lot to it, and there was I don't know, it just lost that charm of the original 80s. I think
Yeah.
because the villains weren't like rockers.
This is true. This is true.
Remember the original one? They had all the big hair and the muscles.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah. See, maybe that's what he's missing. Maybe they need to get some wrestlers as villains.
True. Now, fun fact.
Yes.
The Amazon warrior
Right.
that was in that movie with Schwarzenegger, Sandal Bergman.
Right.
You remember her?
Yes.
So I didn't know this, but she also played Getrin in Red Sonja.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What completely threw me off was the dark
Valeria.
hair.
You mean his girlfriend Valeria? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah,
Valeria.
Valeria. Yeah. She was great.
Oh, she was fantastic. She was like, you have to live forever. She said, when he was about to die.
Yeah. He's like, but I'm done.
I don't want this anymore.
I don't want to do this
I want to
anymore.
be gone.
Don't make me.
I want to be gone. Finished. Gone. Chris,
I want to be gone.
Chris says the movie Argyle was a remake of Total Recall, and Bryan Cranston actually played the same part as from the second Total Recall. Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta watch Argyle. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've heard good things. I'm gonna check that out. I'll put that on my watch list. But yeah, like one of my favorite directors, Guy Ritchie. Right? For me, Guy Ritchie, he's like my alternative to Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
Right? Because no one, in my opinion, does dialogue like those guys.
Right.
It could just be two people in a room just talking for 20 minutes, and you're gonna be completely enthralled in that conversation.
Yeah.
You
Like
know
us.
what I mean?
Same.
You're gonna be completely enthralled in that conversation.
Yeah.
So because like at first when I saw the ads for the gentleman and I saw that it was Matthew McConaughey, I'm like, nah, like I'm not, you know, I was like, nah,
You know what, Matthew? You know,
nah, because it's like, I associate Matthew McConaughey with like rom-coms. You know what I'm
right?
saying? Not
And
like,
a southern lawyer. Yeah,
yeah, like not gangster movies.
yeah. Although he was good in, I got to admit, he was good in True Detective.
He was great in True Detective. Yes.
Yeah.
He was absolutely great. I definitely had. So he was great in True Detective. He was great in The Wolf of Wall Street. But
Yeah.
that's what I associate him with.
Yeah.
I associate him with as being like more of the prettier guy, doesn't get his hands too dirty. True Detective. He was an undercover federal agent, and he surprised me in that role.
Yeah. Yeah.
He surprised me in that role. But then, like watching The Gentleman, like, dude, like it's right up there with like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch. Everybody, and I was pleasantly surprised. Hold on, what's this guy's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. He was in a bunch of rom-coms too. English guy. It's on the tip of my tongue right now. Shoot, that he's got a brother that acts too.
Oh.
Hugh Grant.
Oh
Hugh
God.
Grant. Hugh Grant's in the movie, and I was really surprised at the kind of range that he has. Because in the movie he plays a scumbag.
Yeah. Right.
He plays a scumbag like private investigator who's trying to extort, these like top tier like drug dealers.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, like that's Hugh Grant. You know what I mean? Like I had to do a double take. Like when I saw Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
I got to admit, I was never a fan of Hugh Grant, but I did like him in Dungeons and Dragons. I thought he was pretty good in that.
Yes, that was
was fun.
film. That was a great film. It's same. Never really a fan of Hugh Grant. But like to see him in something other than the posh sort of love interest.
Hill.
Yeah, like to see him play a scumbag was great. That was good. That was good.
All right, I think I've got the pose where I need it to be now.
Looking good. I like that. I like that you maintained a very feminine. It's almost statuesque.
Yes.
Very statuesque, like and I like that it's robust too because it feels like a sculpture.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that. I did kind of want it to mimic the He-Man one. He was in the same way,
Right.
So, I don't know why I wanted to do that. Maybe I don't know because I'm not sure what we'll do for She-Ra later on. But
true.
Yeah, but anyway, if I'm still alive when we get to that one, I could be the next Danny Glover.
There you go. That'll be our tagline. We're
but I
getting
do want to
too
try and get those Frazetta curves happening.
Absolutely.
That was one of my main goals, is to try and get that real powerful but still curvaceous.
Yeah.
What is Chris saying?
What did Chris say? Hugh Grant, the Hollywood star that gets a job from corner.
Jesus, Chris.
Jesus, Chris. Chris is just spitting venom tonight, dude. Like it's just hot fire coming from Chris tonight.
Chris just grabbed the wheel and drove us into a new gully.
Yeah.
He went off the road into a new gully. We didn't know what was going on. It was all Chris Borman. Yvette
Yeah,
screaming
it
in
was
the
all
car. We don't know what's
yeah.
happening.
We were in the back seat. I just buckled in. Put my
I was
helmet
going through
on.
I was going through the mixed tapes. I didn't know what was
Yeah.
happening.
We gave him the benefit of the doubt. We gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Chris just went left. He just went left.
Chapter break.
There it is.
Oh man.
Oh man.
So how far have you got left? You're just detailing Teela now? Is that what the plan is?
So what I'm doing is, after my composition is in, my very general composition is in. So right now, I'm just kind of refining some of the forms to fit
Right.
some of the very general details. On my next pass, I'm gonna do like the finer details,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And then once all that is in and it's good and fine, because I'm gonna do a little bit of proportion work, right?
Yep.
Just kind of make sure everything is as it should be,
Right.
reads well. Then we hit it with the kneaded eraser and give it a little bit of a wash with a wet brush.
Okay.
And I did say that this would be all gouache.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's your challenge.
This is all gouache.
No ink.
No
No ink.
ink, no watercolor.
Yeah,
All
right.
gouache.
Okay. I'm
So
very interested to see how you do this.
shoot, so am I.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
I have been using the work that we've been producing on these live streams in my classes, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because I have a kid that's going to the Kubert School in Jersey
Right.
for comic art,
Yes.
and I'm trying to sort of like help him expand his taste in art, right? And explain to him that a lot of the the very popular and like more dynamic artists that we see in comics today have a painter background,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They have like, a classic background, right? So, you know, we've been as of late working on values, right? We've been doing a lot of anatomy, a lot of life drawing,
Yep.
but we've been working on proportions, right? Because he'll kind of like do his composition and then immediately jump into doing details, and I'm like, no, you kind of have to like switch back and forth, right? You lay in your composition, pay attention to your proportions, right? Lay in some more, give it
Yep.
a quick wide view, you're switching gears
Yep.
before we get into details
Yes.
and proportions and such. So with values, I think one of the best ways for like truly understanding values, especially in comics, right, is to paint.
Right.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
get some time in with like your colors, right? See where we can get some of those mid tones, get some nice separations in your values, right? So not everything looks so uniform.
Right. Yep.
Play around with your negative space. So
Yep.
I recommended a watercolor set form with one of those squeeze brushes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Love the little brush.
Are
I
are
like
they the
doing.
ones with the water filled part in it? Yeah.
Yeah, these.
Yes.
I love doing ink washes with this.
Yep.
So good. So good. Chris Borman says you didn't think Hugh had a seedy side. Oh, I know about Hugh's seedy side.
Yeah.
Like I've been around long enough to hear the the news of Mr. Grant, and the ladies of the night.
Yes, we were there in the 90s.
Yes,
We all wondered why.
he is an avid patron of the ladies of the night.
Yes, he supports small business.
He supports small contractors, right?
Freelancers.
Freelancers. Shout out to Hugh Grant for supporting small businesses before it was trending.
And to all the entrepreneurs out there.
Indeed.
I'm still.
Indeed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Grant. Dirty Hugh.
Dirty Hugh.
It derailed his career, though, didn't it? Really?
Oh, 100%. I hadn't seen him in anything since. I think
No.
The Gentleman was the first thing I've seen him in years.
Yeah. Yep. Just goes to show.
Man, dirty Hugh. So I think I'm going to sort of give this a little bit of a ram head sort of like design.
Yes.
In her bust, right? Because it looks like she's got a little bit of a plate here, right? So that the collar looks like fabric.
Yes. And you're going with the real sort of funky disco collar, that real high. What do they call that?
I'm going with
like the original Blade. Remember the original Blade and Power Man had those kind of massive collars on their costumes.
Yes.
And Ghost Rider too. The original Ghost Rider.
Yeah. And Nightwing, Disco Nightwing.
Yeah, man. Nightwing.
I think his was like exaggerated though. I think that his went up to like the brow.
His would have been like restricting. You try to get in a fight with that thing.
His was hardcore, dude. Like
knocking you in the face, like got me in the eye.
Like that can't be convenient in the ring.
Can't be functioning. Like, Jesus, got me in the eye again. Stop for a second. Stop.
Wait. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me flip it down so it looks, so it looks like a polo shirt.
Like a collar. Yeah, giant collar. Pause.
He's throwing up the tea. He's time out.
Time. Okay, go now. Go.
Oh man. A lot of those designs not practical.
Not practical. We'll say that for when we do our Teen Titans run.
That's right. Not practical at all. Actually, I should bring this up a little more. Let's get in here. Clear this out a bit more. That's good.
It's good.
That is good.
6.
And we'll bring this all the way down.
I've got to admit, I do like what they did with the sideshow design on the costume. I think I might mirror some of that.
Yeah.
Some of the detailing that they did on the armor. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to cover her ears with the tiara because I see that.
Yeah, well, she got those side things that come down.
Yeah,
that's her ears.
Yeah, so that's
the sideburns, the Wolverine sideburns.
Yeah, the chops.
The chops.
Like, the metal chops.
Yes.
Right. Now let's get a front view of her in the tiara. Let's see if we get some of the hair flaring. Oh, we do. Okay, so let's kind of give her a little more volume.
Yeah.
Actually,
So, in other news, I've noticed that there's been a lot of controversy around AI art this week, Kenny.
you don't say.
Yeah, a lot about almost like heavy career canceling sort of stuff going on, really, isn't it? Like,
Well, I have seen I have seen some really egregious
oh
like
man,
AI
yeah,
work.
yes,
Did you see that Superman
yeah,
cover?
yes, and the Batman, yeah.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
So that artist in particular has pretty much been deleted.
Yeah, dude. Because
It's over.
what the hell?
Yeah,
What are you thinking?
yeah. And not only his stuff in that, like I mean, any trading card stuff he's done, like it's just the approach to it all has been a bit sus, really.
That's man, like again, using AI as a tool, right? Just to expedite work, I
Yeah,
get it. It makes sense, right? But it shouldn't be used as the medium,
as the art, yeah, the
as
stuff you
the
hand
art.
in.
Yeah, like that's no.
I suppose like a few years ago, people were using the Poser program to reference figure drawing,
Of
but then
course.
some people were using it to create the actual comics. Like I was like, oh,
Right.
and you could tell
Yeah, yeah. Like
it wasn't great. Yeah,
it doesn't work.
no,
It doesn't work at all. And it's like, that's what kills it. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure that, some of the AI developers, you know, started these programs with good intentions. And cool.
right.
Like, sure, right? I get it. But, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You, you know what I'm saying?
I love when you go
Like,
people.
there's, there's always, there's always gonna be, one or two knuckleheads that
Yeah,
are gonna want to exploit,
you're gonna
you
abuse
know,
it. Yeah,
and
always.
and and abuse it, and you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
and
Oh,
just kind
yeah.
of like, pee in the
Ruin it.
pool for
Yeah.
everybody.
Glenn didn't get out of the pool again. He's still
You
in the
know,
pool. He kept
just
drinking.
pee in the pool for everybody
God damn it, Glenn. Every time.
every time.
Every time I keep getting that warm patch when I swim past Glenn.
Every time.
Every time. He keeps inviting Glenn. He
Who
doesn't
keeps
get out of the
inviting this
pool.
guy?
He just can't. Oh man.
Let me open up her pit here. Eh, so speaking of Superman,
Yes.
I know you saw. You
You
saw
know I
you,
know I saw. Yeah.
you saw you saw the set shots.
Yes.
I gotta know your opinion.
Um, I don't know. I don't. I look. I there's parts of the costume I think's cool.
No.
I do like the colors. I just
Yeah.
don't. I just don't dig the symbol. So
The symbol kind of pulls me out.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like you can't do Kingdom Come without doing Kingdom Come.
right. The
Like
symbol does kind of, pull me out
why
of it.
why can't you just go with the S? Like why it works? Like
Yeah.
why can't you just do the S the way it was? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Symbol does pull me out, I will admit. But I do like that he put the symbol on the back of the cape.
Yes, I was impressed with that. Yeah, went with
I
that.
was like, okay, good on you, James.
Yes.
Good on you.
And it's not as I didn't like the Brandon Routh costume either. Like I thought the symbol was too small.
Yeah.
Um,
I felt like the colors were like too dark, if that makes
right.
sense.
And the
It
same
was
with
it was, it was like a weird like hue
yeah,
in
same with
in
Man of
those
Steel
colors.
one too. They were just too violety in the blue. Like
Hmm.
it's too I like the powdery blue Superman. It's just part of what I grew up with, I suppose. But so it looks like they are getting to that, and it looks less armor based. It looks more like an actual costume,
Right.
which is good. So I don't
Did
know.
you
We'll see what happens.
did, did you see the shot of him as Clark Kent?
Yes, I did with the scuffed hair and the.
Yes, I dug that.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be
I dug
interesting.
that. I will admit, I am excited.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's been
am
a while since we've
excited.
seen Superman.
Huh?
It's been a while since we've seen Superman, so it should be
This is
good
true.
to
This
revisit that
is
again.
true. Let's see. Chris Borman has sent me some stuff.
Oh,
Oh, okay, Chris. Man, this is very well done so far. What media is this, Chris? I'm gonna send this to Will. Check this out, Will.
all right. I'm just going to get this little bit of Teela done, and I'll have a look.
I went in a different direction with my latest painting from the pop culture comic art. Struggling with the background because I normally don't do landscape and it's acrylic.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the Statue of Liberty one that he started. Yeah, we saw this sketch for it. I think the last he did. Remember we saw the sketch for it? Yeah.
Yes. That's right. Okay.
Nice one.
Look,
It's good to
Chris,
see.
so far
I
so
like
good,
that.
dude. So far so good.
Yeah, that's good, man. I like seeing you pushing into the painting, Chris. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
cool.
far so good, dude. You keep at it. The good thing with acrylic is, you could always cover it up, go back, and rework some areas, so you're not like essentially married to anything that's on your canvas. So,
Right.
go in full speed ahead, dude, and render it. I really, really like the transition in your sky. That's very
Yeah.
well done.
Yes.
That's very well done.
The clouds, like nice angle for the clouds too.
Mm-hmm. Those values are fantastic. This is sunset, yeah?
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, it's really, really well
You've
done.
nearly got yours ready for paint, have you?
Say again?
Oh, so you went with the full forearm gauntlets on your one. I'm looking at.
Yes. Yeah, I went with the big ones. The big ones
Yeah.
there. Right? 'Cause I feel like, she's got a lot of flesh that she's showing off. So we
Yes.
need, some accents in there to kind of balance it out.
Yep.
Right? We get the arm bracers. Right? Does she have it on both arms? I think she has it on both arms. She does.
Yes. Yep. I noticed on the statue she's got a shoulder piece too.
Yeah. The Kevin Smith show has her like with this kind of like bulky kind of armor
Yeah.
where it leans heavily into um some more like, well, it's got like a heavier sort of like sword and sorcery sort of reference,
Right.
almost like a Valkyrie,
Yeah. Yep.
where she's got like, big like sharp and angled like shoulder pads and such,
Right. Yeah.
but
The
I
more I
like
think about that Kevin Smith one, the less I like it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was fun to watch the first time. The more I think about the rendition of what he did, I think it doesn't sit
yeah,
well.
yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. It's funny the things that jive and last and the things that just don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's very few times that like, you'll watch something off of nostalgia, but then it sort of evolves into its own thing that still holds up and you still can enjoy.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I
Yeah.
was talking to my son the other day. He's a big TMNT fan. He's like, that's one of his latest obsessions, right?
Yeah.
And I've been telling him, I'm like, you know, like we were playing Shredder's Revenge, right? So we're sitting there
Right.
playing it, and I say, the famous Michelangelo line, "Pizza dude's got 30 seconds," right?
Yes.
And he's like, "What are you talking about, Dad?" Right? He's looking at me like I got three heads, and I'm like, You don't know Pizza dude's got 30 seconds?" He's like, "No, what is that?" I was like, "It's from the original TMNT movie." He's like,
That's right.
"Those." He said that the turtles look weird in that. I'm like, "That's because it's live action, my son, and
Yeah.
you're desensitized with all this like CGI."
Yeah, right. It was
Right?
practical effects. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "No, I don't like it. I don't like it."
It,
Right?
it is tricky to watch. Like, I mean,
It is.
I remember seeing it at the cinema. I was like, it's I love what they're doing, but it's just hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. This is hard.
Like
Because, they had the face that was animatronic. Yeah, it was interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's a big part of it is because he wasn't part of that generation.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we grew up with, well, I grew up with Sesame Street,
Yeah.
and like the Muppets.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like
I do,
TMNT
yeah.
was like, you know,
It was acceptable.
fighting
Dark
Muppets.
Crystal. It was like Dark Crystal. Like, we
Well,
accepted that.
exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like this is like fighting Muppets.
Oh, man. Imagine doing a trading card set on the Dark Crystal. Now, that would
Ooh,
be pretty good.
that's yes.
That'd be pretty
Yes.
wild. The
Yeah.
Skeksis, Ogra.
Oh yeah.
I always loved those giant rabbit creatures that they used to
Mm,
ride. The Striders, whatever they were. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So here we go. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna make her leg a bit thicker around the ankle.
Oh,
I mean, not the ankle, the knee, right?
yes.
Because
Oh, that's a
I'm looking at your
good
knees.
knee. That's a good knee, dude.
I'm looking at your knees, and she looks like she's been, she's been hitting the Tybo a bit. She's been hitting that Tybo, bro. Like she doesn't skip leg day. So I don't want my
Yes.
Teela to look like, she's out here lacking,
She
right?
could she could Brazilian jiu-jitsu you to death
She
with
looks like
with
she can
those
crack
legs.
walnuts with her thighs. Like
Chris Foreman's says Domino's hasn't
Domino's
delivered in 30
doesn't
minutes.
hasn't have delivered in 30 minutes or less anymore. Nobody does, dude, because
No.
it's like, people exploited it too much.
Yes. Yep,
People
indeed.
exploited it too much.
They wrecked it. They wrecked it.
They wrecked it. Now it's gone.
It's gone.
Now it's just
It's gone.
it's just gone. All gone.
Like Goodfellas to death.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. 30 minutes or less. No. It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
I just ring it up for my free pizza because it said no, it's gone.
It's gone. What do you want from me?
We had a problem.
What? I think the heel might work here.
Yeah, I've done the heels.
I was gonna do the wedge, but I think the heel might work here.
Yeah.
I think the heel may work here. Well, let me see here. I feel like this second half of the leg might be a little short, no? No, that's good. That's about right. That's about right. Let's bring this down a bit. Round this out.
In other news, Upper Deck has announced that they are doing DC cards.
Yes.
Saw that.
Yes.
It's caused a flurry of collector interest in the universe.
That indeed.
Multiple YouTube channels talking about it with excitement.
Yes, because that's been a little bit of an elusive IP, as it were.
Yes. Yes.
And You guys can expect some DC goodness down the line.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it looks exciting, doesn't it? And I think they released some sort of digital trading card for Superman. I don't know how that works with digital stuff, but must
I
be
think
just like
it's.
an early
I think it's.
reveal, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's more like in the vein of like an NFT kind of deal, but
Yeah,
not an NFT. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
like,
Yeah, it's kind of
so it's
wet the
like
taste buds a bit. Yeah,
yeah, so it's like some digital content that you don't have to pay like a stupid amount of imaginary money for.
stupid amount.
Yeah. Chris Morgan says delivery drivers died and killed people trying to deliver a pie. They
What?
still do, Chris. They still do. They still do.
What? Put the body on the
I got a
line
buddy
just to
that
get that.
still that delivers pizzas for Pizza Hut, and sometimes he's talking to me on the phone while he's making his
Yes,
deliveries.
good
They
choice.
still do, Chris.
Good
They still
choices.
do. You know, he keeps me on the phone sometimes so I can like kind of talk him off the ledge from doing something crazy.
What is going on?
She's like, these guys are looking at me funny, Ken. I'm gonna pull out the blade. I'm like, no, 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 no. No blade. No
No
blade. They're
blade.
probably just hungry. They're hungry.
Yeah,
They're hungry.
I'm
Just
gonna
give them the
pull it.
food.
Got one hand on the back, the blades in the back belt pocket. One hand on it while handing the pizza over,
It's like
just in case.
that episode from The Office when they were gonna raid Utica.
Yes.
It was like, I'm gonna stab the guard in the eyes with the jumbo chalk. No, no, you're not gonna do anything to the guy's eyes.
No, but I am. No, you you can't do that. You're right, but I'm going to do it.
I can see his eyes. No, nothing with the
No,
eyes.
not to leave the eyes.
Nothing with the eyes.
That was a great series. I really enjoyed watching that.
Believe it or not, one of the NBC guys that took over while the show was still in the air.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's one of the reasons why, and I found this out like recently, like
Right.
I think it was like earlier this week. I found this
Yeah.
out. I found out why Steve Carell left the show,
Right.
and it was because that every time they renewed the show for a new season,
Yeah.
right? They needed to basically guarantee Steve Carell, like another 3 years of the show,
Right. Yeah.
right? And because he was one of the top draws, he was making the most money.
Yeah. All the monies.
Yeah. So, but the thing was that one of the new execs that came in around the time of, I think, what was that? That was like season 5 that Steve
Yeah.
left, right?
Was it 5? Was it later than that?
I think it was either 5 or 6 because
Yeah, because
they went on
the
for
weird
another
season,
4 or so seasons without
right.
him.
The weird season was 6, I think, or 7, wasn't it? It was a weird season.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was during that season that NBC exec came in, and he actually hated the show. So he's like, we're not gonna bring Steve back. You
Wow.
know, and like, by making that decision, he felt like it would basically put the nail in the coffin
He wanted to end it.
for the show.
Yeah, right.
But believe it or not, like, I mean, obviously you saw,
Yeah.
it went on for a few more seasons, and they brought Steve back for the final episode. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, here's egg in your face, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Absolutely great show, man. It's one of my favorite all time like TV
I,
shows.
it did kind of lose something when Steve wasn't there, though. Like,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. That, I think that, he's a great actor, but this guy that played Andy Bernard,
Yes.
he was too much of a cornball for me.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
And,
to
and inconsistent. Like one minute he was a dirty rat, the next minute he was all right, and
yeah,
which way are we jumping here? You know?
yeah, yeah. It's so that kind of took me out when it came to his character.
Yeah.
I did like Robert California. That's a hot take. I did like Robert California
Yes.
though.
And the name. How good is the name?
Yeah, because I liked his intensity,
Yeah.
right? He was like just
Just
always
bizarre,
intense.
and just bizarre. Like just a bizarre dude. Kind of those weirdest things. He's like the Caligula, you know, he just turns
Yeah.
up and has these bizarre ideas and stories about, yes, we built this Hollywood home for.
I forgot who was the center of the show, but you know they said the line where there's no way he hasn't choked out a hooker.
Yeah.
There's no way he hasn't
Like,
choked out a
what
hooker.
is crazy? You made those guys stay back, the two guys, the young guys. They just made them dance nude. Like what? In his weird Caligula house that he built with his wife. With his wife.
I'll tell you, man, it's such a good show.
Like,
Such a good show.
like, how did it get to that? Like, oh
Oh
man,
man,
yeah, it was good.
such a good show, man.
Oh, recently, someone has been using AI to recreate those characters, but in gangster sort of shirt off, full of tattoos. Have you seen
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah, I keep getting it. It just pops up on my feed,
Oh
and it's
man, you
like,
gotta send me those. I need to witness this.
and they're all in like, you know, it's like Steve Carell sitting there with his shirt off, full of tats all over him.
Oh,
Jim
I love
sitting on the ground, like leg tattoos all over. It's just great. Creed.
it. Nice. So, did you know that Creed is actually his real name?
Yes, for real. I saw it on the credits. Yeah,
And he's really a member of the Grassroots.
is that right?
Yeah, like he's legit a member of the Grassroots, the band.
That's funny.
Chris Miller.
Hey,
Chris Miller's in the building. Welcome, sir. You have you're a bit tardy to the party.
yes, we are now 2 hours 17 in.
Yeah, a bit tardy to the party, as it were. So let's see here. Let me get my handy dandy ruler so we could get this bow staff here. And can render in details in her hand. I think that would be a good place to kind of cap it.
Yeah, I'm about the same. I'm pretty close to ready to start putting in the paints, I think.
Now, she's got a relatively warm palette.
Yes.
Have you considered what you're going to do for your background?
I was actually thinking more along the lines of like Beastman having some vines and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Keep it a bit jungle-like.
Right.
Being that I've sort of the only time I've touched on that part of the environment was the first one. The others have all been like Man at Arms was just a full battle scene, and Stratos was sky. Merman had the water there, and He-Man had the rocks. So I'm thinking I might do Teela along lines of vines and sort of twisted logs and things like that.
Okay, so something a bit more green. Okay.
Yeah, like cool greens and purples.
Cool greens, yeah.
And purples in the background, like some of those real Frazetta colors that he uses.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good idea. You know what? I haven't done that yet. I think I might do that as well.
That sounds good. Yeah,
I might do that as well.
that'll look great, especially if we do the book layout with the Teelas either side.
Yeah. There we
And
go.
the jungle scene would be cool.
Let me give her the. that little funky collar right there. Boom.
Yeah, I toned it down. I toned the collar down on my one. I sort of just kept it almost like a cuffed collar.
Yeah.
And are you doing the endangered animal fur popping out of the side of her chest plate there, or are you going to keep it the skin?
Does she have the fur? Hold
In the on the statue she does, and some of the variant drawings that she has, but she doesn't on the.
on. You're right. You're right. You're right. You know what? Um, you know what? I think I'm just gonna keep it sexy. I'm gonna keep it furless.
Yeah,
Because she's of all the characters we've drawn, she's got the least amount of fur.
right.
Yeah, she's got the least amount of fur. I'm looking at some of the designs right now.
It's almost straight armor, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it without the fur. She's got the bracers here. I think that bracer should be a little longer, so we're gonna bring that down to bicep a bit more. There we go. Bam. Now let's get these fingers in. Pinky. Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
I mean that in there like that. I'm just sort of extending her shoulders a bit, give her a bit more sort of gladiator feeling on her.
Yeah.
I don't want the shoulders being too small. She's wielding swords. I want it to feel like she's got a bit of strength behind those arms.
Yeah. Man, Teela's turned out to be kind of interesting, right? Because it's like because it's the first female that we are drawing in this challenge. We kind of had to go back to something that was kind of safe.
A little bit. But I guess
we have to go back to something that was kind of safe.
Yeah, but I guess we could have done we saved He-Man for the battle armor He-Man action pose.
True.
I think I might save the action pose for Teela for when we do Greek Goddess.
Okay. So, yeah, that's right.
So you kind of get the both. I really wanted for her when I decided not to put her on the battle ram. I thought I really wanted her to have that kind of iconic statuesque pose,
Right.
But you're right too. Sometimes it's a bit of a pause to do an anatomy study and to make sure you get all of those elements right. Since we've sort of spent so much on the male form, it's a good way to stretch your legs that way.
So I'm thinking some mossy rocks.
Yeah,
mossy kind of rock here. Bring these in. Make for some interesting sort of some leafy textures coming off of the rock.
Yeah.
Right, get some cool greens in there, and then sort of push some blue tree silhouettes.
Nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm relying on that background to break up my stillness that I've got happening.
So yeah, I think the cool greens are a good idea because I like the idea of violet rocks.
Yes.
Some, that funky kind of purple in the rock.
Right.
And then
even
some
lines too, the purple helps to drop it back.
Absolutely, because she'll immediately jump forward with all the reds and the gold.
Yeah.
Let's give her something to stand on here. And get some viney leaves along the base here, popping up. Maybe some mushroom caps. Okay. Yeah, I will say that I am pleased with how this is turning out. Get the tuft of fur.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a bit of moss hanging from branches and tree trunks that are sort of fallen.
Man, you know what? That could be a good idea to sort of do one long branch, one long sort of like. What do you think, Will? One long sort of like fallen branch, so that we could get, so I can get like some of the moss sort of like
Yeah.
cascading off of.
I do it to juxtapose those two shapes of the staff and her leg this up. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
I'd bring it down though. I wouldn't have it so high up. I'd have it lower than her staff.
So like about here, would you say?
Yeah. Yep. So you keep your compositional point, your focus point, the head still. Yeah,
So
that's
it's
it.
like something like that.
Yep.
You know, something kind of windy a bit.
Yep.
So the wood sort of looks like it's kind of twisting, and then we get, you know, some of the dangling.
Yeah, which is I've done the same thing at the bottom. I've got the same sort of moss hanging sort of trunk, rotting trunk sort of there.
Yeah.
No trunk.
Yeah, that was a good call. And man, that'll be cool to kind of throw some cooler browns.
Yeah.
For the rotting trunk.
Might do a bit of grass at the bottom, I think, this time.
Oh yeah. So it feels like almost swampy.
Yeah.
Man, I think. What do you think about some flowers?
Oh yeah. Maybe
Like
you could on the
some like
vine.
just on the vine for like a burst of color.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little pops.
I was thinking I might have some birds taken off or something, like a couple
Ooh,
of weird Eternian birds sort of taken off in the background.
very good idea. I do like that. That's a good idea. So that here, we can push the bottom of the trunk into some shadow. Get the twist in the wood grain there. All right, and take it all the way up.
All right.
That's a nice. Okay, I feel good about this because there's my other triangle. That's good. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Let's see. Let's get some vines hanging off of here. Leaves.
All right, I'm just going to check reference that gauntlet.
Yeah, I went with the pointed pointed gauntlet at the elbow.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I saw that there were a couple there where it's kind of flat,
Yeah.
like on both ends.
Right. Yeah, it kind of pops out like that, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
it comes in.
yeah. Because she's got like in the design, she's got like subtle points, right? Some subtle angles. So like
Yeah.
we got the angle in the leaves, right off of
Right.
the
Yep.
waist. The angle in the crown and in the collar.
Right.
It felt right. It felt right to
To
kind
do
of
it. Yeah.
point out the gauntlets.
There you go, the armbands. All right.
So let's see here. Let's get some more texture up here. Yeah, there
You
we
doing
go.
the background, Kenny, on yours?
I'm not sure. I think that this rotting wood here is
Is
cool.
enough. Yeah.
It might be enough. If I do anything at all, it might be just some silhouette. But I like the starkness of this like prelim here with the moss and such, and
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rock. I don't know. I'm just, it's jazz after this.
Yeah.
After this,
Yes.
it's all improv.
Indeed.
Right?
Uh,
Chris Borman says,
Chris
"Kenny, I
Chris
saw you
Borman
posted a
asks you,
rookie card. What was that? A commission or a giveaway piece? That was Chris. That was a commission piece. That was yeah, that was Kanaka from the Acolyte. That was a commission through my Etsy shop. So, as always, guys, if you guys are interested in any commission work, right, you can commission us through our Etsy stores, right? So, mine's is Wilding Studios, as you see it written on the screen there, and Will's is Art of Will Pladen, also on Etsy, right? So we have plenty of options up there for commissions. If you want something custom made, and it's something that you don't see in the standard listings, I will create a custom order listing for you that that includes the shipping price, right? So you won't be paying anything extra for shipping through the custom order option.
and if it's a Marvel-based character, every now and then you have an AP that comes out, don't you?
That's correct. So the thing is with the artist proofs, the APs, I begin to advertise that I have APs open for commission around the release date of the respective set. So currently I have some premiere artist proofs that I'm holding on to until they release the e-pack that I did for premiere.
Right.
So once we get close to any release dates, because I have some APs of the Puppet Master set that I did for Dynamite. I have some artist proofs of Transformers, right, that I also did for Dynamite. So once we get within like the week of the release date, I start to promote those on my socials. So if you guys follow my Instagram, you'll see I'll start talking about it, and I'll promote that I have those open for commissions, and they will go fast because they are limited. So
And APs do, don't they? Like people are
yeah,
hungry for them. Yeah.
yeah, man. Like
Because they're
I
they're officially licensed cards. Like they still have the
absolutely,
logo on them. Yeah, they're approved by the company.
absolutely.
So they are highly sought after.
So they are highly sought after. you are subject to certain limitations, like any art that's done on the artist proof has to fall in line with some of the guidelines that they put on us as the artists, right?
No Hugh
Otherwise,
Jackman. No Hugh Jackman at all.
yeah, like no Hugh Jackmans, or you know what I mean, nothing lewd, or
Yeah.
tattered clothing or anything. But you know what I mean, like because then we would be in breach of contract for that set, and it could kind of get in the way of any future endeavors. But so long as you guys are cool with sort of doing things within those guidelines, man, we can come up with something special. I've done
Yeah.
quite a few APs that you guys can see on my Wilding Studios page on Instagram. That the majority of those are commissioned artist proofs. No, Chris, no Hugh Grants either. No Hugh Grants.
We told you, Chris.
No Hugh Grant's sitting in his car with dark glasses, the
No.
window halfway down, asking how much. Right.
Folded cash, slid out
You
the
know.
window. No, nothing. Leave it alone, Chris. No more.
No more.
It's gone.
It's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. He's deleted.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think I'm ready to paint.
Yes.
I think I'm ready to paint.
I am too. I'm just throwing this sword in and having to play with that. But yes, I am too.
Oh man, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put the sword in. I was gonna put the
The
sword
back?
sheath.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do that now while we're here. I'll
I'm
give her a
not
little
going to
belt.
go with the chunky sword. I don't like the chunky sword. I'm going to go with more of an elegant blade.
Yeah, the chunky sword's kind of stupid.
Yeah, like I mean, how no one could lift that thing.
For such
Where are you
a
going to put
for
it?
such a
Where are you
yeah,
going to
for
put
such
it?
a dainty character, you know what I mean? Like,
Where are you going to put that thing when you're at home? Like, the chunky sword has no place, really.
absolutely not.
Like,
You
if
know
we had to
what?
be honest about it, like, I don't know.
I think
What are you going to?
I'll put the
It'd come off the wall. Like, it'd pull the wall out if you hung it up on the wall. You know, like.
There we go. I think that'll do it right there. I'm gonna just drop the sword in really quick. I was so hyped about no Hugh Grant mugshot. No,
I would do that. I would do a Hugh Grant mugshot. the side and front view.
With
the boy's got the Nick Nolte messy hair too. They always like a bit
with the unkept beard.
Yes.
The
Gary Busey look. Even on the run.
Look. Yeah.
Gary Busey.
That guy's he's a special guy.
He's a mess.
Yeah, he is. Look at her sword. Let's see, it look like her sword hilt. Okay, it's got a weird chunkiness to it.
It does. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not gonna like it.
I'm just gonna make the chunkiness like smaller. I'm just gonna kind of minimize it, make it a bit more dainty. Yeah,
I'll reduce the chunk.
Yeah, just minimize the chunk a bit.
Yeah.
Bring the sword handle to about there, so it looks like it's got room enough for two hands.
And it's got a massive sort of sword within a sword thing going on there. I was like, oh, I can't. No, I don't like that.
I mean, the blade is cool. It's the hilt that like takes me out of it.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I think I'll add the birds in later. I'll make a judgment of that. I was going to either go in two directions. I was going to either have the birds, or I was even going to maybe do her unicorn. in the background.
Ooh, the unicorn.
Because I've got space there. I was going to have the unicorn perhaps looking back to her in the
Right.
background. So it gives it a bit of depth, but
That could be cool.
like around about there. Right. So putting the horse in there with it looking back to her.
The unicorn could be cool. Hell yeah.
Right. Just to add the extra thing in there. Because we don't really have the unicorn as one of our drawing challenges, even though we got Battle Cat. So
yeah,
that's it. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think yeah. I'm just about good too. Yeah, because really it's the only real detail that I'm gonna add to this. I'm gonna just kind of, fix the little plates in her belt here.
Right.
Now that I added the sword, so I can kind of give it like a little bit of a belt loop leading to the sword itself.
Yep.
Clean out what I'm doing here with the sword handle.
Right.
Add her shield on her back. Right.
Yep.
And then we can start dabbing the needed eraser on it.
Nice. Yes, lighten it all up. I'm the same. I've got to lighten up mine a fair bit too.
Yeah.
A lot of sketching.
Yeah. The lead is soft.
Yep. Very cool, man. I love what you did with the vines in the background. That was cool.
That was a good call, Will. That was a
Boots look
really
good.
good call.
Boot looks really good.
I like, because there's my triangle. Got some triangles in there. See,
Yeah. And I was the same. I've got to do things to break up my stance because it's very centered at the moment. So very, very vertical. So I've got to bring some horizontals across to break it up.
What do you think of? I like the unicorn edition.
Yeah.
Is the unicorn standing?
Yes. So I'm going to do it standing there, like it's almost. I don't know if you can see that. I'm only sketching very light.
Yeah.
So it'll be there. Right. So that's the face. There's the jaw, the mouth.
Right.
The back jaw of it. The eyes.
Yep, I see it.
That's kind of reaching back. That's the sorry, I'm really driving me crazy with the pencil noises, but there's the front of the torso there. Back goes with the back leg. And maybe I'll have the unicorn's leg up.
Nice. I think that's a nice touch.
And then have its four leg there coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that around here like that. Horses for courses. And then maybe have some of the hair of the unicorn sort of flying in the breeze a little bit.
Of course. Unicorn's got to be majestic.
It's got to do it. Bring the leg up there, get those muscles in. The chest of the horse there, back legs, and then the tail. There you go. Done. Horse.
I like it.
That way it gives a bit of depth of field happening there too.
Yeah, you get some depth. Your eye is immediately drawn to her.
Yep.
And then you go to your unicorn, and then you go to your background stuff.
Yeah. And it balances a bit too. Like you've got this kind of, you're moving around to the vine, brings it up straight to her again with the horn pointing to her face.
Yeah.
Doing that pyramid golden triangle thing happening in the middle there.
Yep.
There we go. Well, I think we're good for this week. Are you happy with that?
Absolutely.
Once again, where can they find all of us, Kenny, on our sales?
Wild Inks Studios with a Z, as you see it spelled on your screen, and Art of Will Playden. All right, we are both on Etsy.
Yes,
and these are the names that you can find us on Instagram as well: Art of Will Playden and Wild Ink Studios.
Correct, and all the socials as well. Please, as a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe and to share it around. Chris Borman's asking a quick question. Was there winged horses in He-Man? The winged horse. I'm not sure if it's a winged horse. I know there was in She-Ra.
And
Teela
She-Ra
had
for
the,
sure, because she had the Pegasus, but the
yeah.
Pegasus wasn't a unicorn.
No, I'm pretty sure the unicorn didn't have the Pegasus wings. I think it was just a unicorn in the mini comics,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. It's happened before.
We'll research that. We'll research that.
We'll get back. Our people will get back to you.
Yeah.
But so for this week, we're going to wrap it up. Next week, we're going to start on the journey of layering in our colors. Lots of flesh tones in this one.
Yep.
And lots of environmental changes and lots of gold effects. I love doing the gold effects. We wish everyone have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for joining us today. We love having the interaction with everyone. It makes our time fly and gives us good laughs.
Absolutely.
And until next time, have a great creative week. Kenny.
We'll see you guys at Back to the Drawing Board.